Hello, and welcome back to D&D Horror Stories. Whoa!
I thought we were playing Heads Up 7-Up and just no one picked me.
Oh, I thought you died.
No, we're recording a video.
I was right here. You guys were playing for like 2 hours. No one ever touched me.
We don't record a video. We're not playing Heads Up 7-Up right now. Hang on, let me just get a sip of my LaCroix.
LA Croix.
Doing what?
Sponsored by.
Delicious.
Technically, they are.
Today we're gonna read some more RPG horror stories because we hate ourselves, and I wanted to bring this similar hate to Colton and to Logan. In case you don't know who these people are, this is Colton, my roommate, not my fiance, and this is Logan, the runesmith.
I have a channel where I hide my face and make really deadpan jokes.
So I picked out some RPG stories from r/RPG horror stories, and we're gonna try to give you guys some advice on what the heck you should do if these happen in your campaign.
My general advice that a lot of people tend to stick to is just, if someone does something you don't like, you get on the table and you shit on their character sheet.
That is a really good idea. Everyone will be stunned, and they won't know what to do. And then you would have also exposed yourself to everybody at the table.
You also have the benefit of the room now smelling like shit.
Just like the game that you're playing.
A little. Man, this game smells like shit. You know what? Before we jump into these, though, this video is sponsored by Nerdarchy. They have a Kickstarter that is ended and is funded. They have a late pledge backer where you can still go get the Out-of-the-Box Encounters book with encounters written by lots of really good writers. I've got one in there.
Hey, Jacob, how many stretch goals did they unlock?
I don't know, a lot.
All of them.
They unlocked every stretch goal. That's right. Yeah, they have their Nerdarchy Con that they're gonna do next year in October. So exactly a year from now. At this time, it's during Halloween. So that's really freaking cool. Big congratulations to them, and make sure you go check out that book. It's a really great 5th edition supplement book where you can take encounters out of it and put them into your game. A big thing they try to put into this book is that the DM has to do very little work. You can just kind of throw it into your game. So go check it out. There's a link in the description. Okay, time for cringe, y'all. You ready for this? DM always laughs when you roll a 1 in combat. You fumble your shot and shoot the party member next to you when you roll damage. Wait, what about my AC? I'm wearing full plate. It's a natural 1, man. But of course, the enemy monsters never kill their allies or stab themselves when they roll 1s. Ain't that the truth?
Man, you fumble your shot and shoot the party member next to you. Roll
got
damage.
this.
Just like that.
But I didn't hit him. His AC is a pillow.
No, don't you see? You went through all of it right there.
I'm bleeding in my...
I guess you're
You
right.
just killed your party member.
in my pillow.
Boy, was that my mistake.
So fumble charts are okay, but they're not like...
I'm kind of okay with this one.
I think the only problem here is that it's not
full
both ways.
plate.
Well, no, not even that it's not full plate. It's that it's not both ways.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Well, yeah, I also think that's why people should use fumbled charts instead of rolling a 1 and just hurting your other party member. Like, that's really just dumb. Like, oh, cool, I rolled a 1. There's a 5% chance I'll roll a 1, which is a 5% chance I'll constantly hurt my allies, which is like, whatever. Like, there's a lot of really good, like, supplement charts you can use for, like, when a player rolls a 1 and then something really crazy happens, so long as you apply them to your enemies.
Always apply them to the NPC.
Of course.
You know, an interesting one that I've heard that Victoria actually uses is when you roll a 1, you like leave yourself open to an attack, and the enemy gets an attack of opportunity on you.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
An attack of opportunity?
Yeah.
Well, you could also do, like, they have advantage on the next attack, too. That would
The
be kind of cool.
classic
Yeah, it's like
one
you.
thing that you can give people.
Advantage.
Yeah, it's like you fumble your footwork or something like that.
That's kind of
So-
cool. It's not that much of a horror story.
No, I've seen it done before, and like not a lot of people complain a lot about it. But still, fuck that guy.
You're in the city. There's a cheap-looking hotel and an expensive-looking one.
All right, what's the area around us look like?
It's the downtown part of a city.
Is there anyone around?
No.
Are there any other buildings around?
All closed.
So just a really fancy hotel and a Motel 6 right next to each other?
Yeah, hurry up and pick.
Can we try to talk to...
No, just pick.
A few minutes later.
Using downtime between missions for character interactions. GM huffing loudly every time a character starts a conversation. Starts giving people death glares anytime they aren't throwing dice. Interrupts the planning phase because it's taking too long and he doesn't want to sit here all night listening to us talk. Eventually becomes genuinely angry when asked to describe things beyond the bare minimum. Like, holy shit, if you wanted to just throw dice and count numbers, go play a war game or something.
If you're the DM, buddy,
That's... yeah.
you fool.
There are often games that the players are not going to do combat, and they can be boring for the Dungeon Master, but there's always really interesting ways that you can make it fun for yourself if you want to.
The DM's whole job is just to make the game enjoyable for the players.
Of course.
That's really all you have to do. Like, no matter how bad you want to tell your story, it's just about the characters and the players.
Logan, imagine if Tesseract had no story.
That's not Tesseract. That's Risk.
Not a D. Yeah,
Risk.
you know what's really funny? I was gonna say just go play Risk.
I've definitely done this before, where I've just been upset that the players are just doing things that I don't want them to do, and I'm like,
Can I tell?
can you just go fight the monster?
Can I tell a little horror story from your game?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Lay it to me. Roast me.
So there was this one time in one of Jacob's older games where we were all going to a mausoleum, and one of the characters that Jacob needed to be there was out shopping.
Oh, yeah.
So I played this coy little trickster move with my trickster character who was extremely tricky and had the actor feat. I went around the corner, and a couple minutes later I came back disguised as that character. Immediately the guards were like, "We know who you are."
Because I needed Abadir,
Yeah.
Tim's character, to go in there, because that's when he was going to turn into a vampire, and I was just like, I can't let you in here, and I don't have a good excuse, so the guards just don't let you in. Was that one of the things you did, was you just left, came dressed as Abadir, and, and they were like, no?
Yeah, immediately they were just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
look, it's Abadir." No, they're not.
I think that this one's really just like setting we've talked about this before, the expectations of the game. Like, if the DM wants to play a wargamey D&D game, then explain that it's going to be a wargamey D&D game.
Definitely.
So
That's
that
another
way
way
they're
to go
not
about
that
it.
way they're not disappointed when it comes.
Be Party Wizard, 5th level. Defeat final boss in dungeon.
That's my favorite guy.
Party
Defeat the
Wizard?
final-
No, just final boss.
Discover hidden room with forged large stone boxes. Suspect boxes are trapped. They are. Cast knock to open boxes from safety of the doorway. DM rules that opens does not mean opens, it means unlocks. DM agrees that a box that is closed and unlocked is not open. DM refuses to change ruling. DM feels I am cheating by using magic to avoid the traps. Well, f me then. I cast Mage Hand and open the unlocked chest from a
Yeah,
distance.
that's what I do every game.
This was another thing we talked about in the last one. Is like, this is a creative way that the player is trying to get around an encounter the DM had given them.
That's why those two spells exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the DM's just like, "No, you can't use them, but you
No.
can have them."
Oh, I went and wrote up this little room filled with traps, and the player goes in and says, cast knock to open it. And he's like, damn it, I didn't think about that. And it's like,
That's your fault.
yeah,
I never
you
thought
shouldn't,
about
that shouldn't be like darn it.
I was gonna say knock makes a very loud sound, so you could use
The
that
dungeon's
in some
empty.
way.
It's just
but the
traps.
dungeon,
It's just traps.
it's just traps at this point.
And then who cares?
Yeah, at that point, who
But
cares? Just give them the stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I wrote up a really cool
I
trap.
can't believe they killed my boss. Now I have to kill them somehow. I have a trap.
Knock.
It still works.
Be me. First time running 5th edition, but years of experience. Teaching the basics of D&D to newbies, all but one. Experienced player is a drow barbarian with bare minimum intelligence. Party comes upon door to their first dungeon. Experienced player asks rogue to check for traps. A good start, though there are none. Roll strength check to hack door down with my axe. Nat 1. The axe head breaks off in the door as it slowly creaks open, unlocked. Experienced player complains to me for being harsh. Me, it's not my fault you and your character have the same intelligence. Experienced player throws his dice and at me and walks out. My face 1. Anyone else have players rage quit? Dude!
Damn, it's not my fault. You're stupid.
Yeah.
that's like super harsh.
Yeah.
To break a character's weapon.
Just
No,
on a
no,
nat
natural
1? That's a whole character.
No.
He's a barbarian!
I'm gonna defend the DM here
Okay.
because, like, he just made a door, and he's basing whatever happens with this door on what the characters are doing. The experienced guy is going through the basic motions, even though he's supposed to be stupid, so he shouldn't know these.
Okay.
So his first thing is like, you should check for traps. There's no traps because the DM just made a door. It's unlocked. It works just fine. So he breaks into it without even trying the handle and gets a nat 1. I think at that point, the axe head breaking off, I think is a little ridiculous, but like if you can fashion it back on with or without magic that the party has, then it's okay. But if you permanently broke his weapon, that's a dick move.
You punish players for doing stupid things and rolling very stupidly. So like if he had chose to like throw his axe across a canyon to hit a guy that was over there, and he gets a natural one.
He didn't even try.
And the axe is lost.
He didn't need to hack it down. They didn't even try the handle.
That's true.
That's like the pivotal point where like you're both a little.
Yeah.
Have you heard the story on Sunder of how we had a character hijack a car? I feel like this is that like that sounds like a really dumb thing to do, but it's just a character thing, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's harsh. I also do think that the player is wrong to ask the rogue to check for traps.
To kind of counter my point, the experienced player is helping the other people, like the newbies who wouldn't know to check for traps.
I
That
feel
makes
like
sense.
this one is just like
Everybody sucks.
Yeah, that's
everybody sucks. Like
everybody sucks.
like they just made a bad comment, and then the bad comment like escalated. That's happened before.
Have you ever had a player rage quit during the game?
Dude, do you not remember this?
Yes.
During the game,
Yes.
in the middle of it.
You were.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to do that. All right, so we're telling
All
the
right,
story.
Yeah, no, the original. I thought.
All right, so
Okay.
this was like the first few months I've been running D&D, and we were playing 3.5, and we were playing with a bunch of people, and we had one guy. This dude was we were playing in my campaign. I had like made a little homebrew game, whatever. Who cares? His whole thing was that he wanted to play kind of like a villain character. He wanted to play an assassin, which was a prestige class that you could get in 3.5, where you had to do certain things in order to become it. But he wanted to keep it a secret from the party, and he was secretly a villain.
A cringe lord.
Yeah.
You should definitely not do this unless the player is definitely either experienced or knows what they're doing. It was a dumb idea and it was stupid. It was a long time ago. So we're in like game 3, and assassins have this ability called like Death Strike. And if they study a target for 3 rounds, they can do like a ton of damage if they fail a con save. Don't know the specifics, I just know how that works. So, he has been telling everybody that he's like a ranger. And so Colton, who, to be fair, because there's, it goes back in size, knows a little bit about the rules and
Metagamed a bit.
Well, I also like had been studying Assassin for a very long time because that was something that I was really interested in
But
playing.
here's the thing, it's a prestige class. Players
Right.
can read it. So it wouldn't be
Right.
unnecessary for all players to know about it. He didn't metagame. Here's what happened. He starts doing his thing. He tells me, like, I'm going to do the thing so that nobody knows what it is. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So rounds go by, and he says, like, how long has it been? I'm like, it's been 2 rounds. And Colton goes, oh, you're using Death Strike. You're an assassin.
And I was like, that's really cool.
And I went, stupidly, yes, he is. And I was like, yeah, you figured it out. Because I was we were just joking.
Okay.
You're like, oh, I didn't realize that.
In your defense, I was going to say, I think some characters would recognize movement patterns of different classes.
That's
you,
also fair.
You know how rogues go about it, and you know how rangers go about it.
Yeah, and that was
so-
also an out-of-game statement. It wasn't like my character was suddenly going to treat him differently because of this.
Yeah.
Like,
It's really difficult to play like D&D and be like, oh, I'm a paladin, but then you do sneak attack.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's like-
dude.
the players know what's
Yeah. So I just said, yeah, he is. And I was kind of sick of it. I didn't really like the fact that he was secret, and I was kind of happy that you figured it out. And I was like, good. Now we can know.
It slowed down the game a lot. Because he wanted all these secret
Exactly.
things.
And I didn't like player versus player kind of mentality. So he was like, dude, he got super mad at me. He stood up and he was just like, you're a terrible dungeon master for saying that. And he walked out. And I was like, I just spoiled his secret. And he was really, really, really mad. And that is the only time I have ever had a player rage quit. We've never gotten to a point where it's been this bad ever again. And to be fair, it was kind of his fault. So, like, none of us were angry. We were all just like, whoa, everybody sucks.
Everybody sucks. I think that's the takeaway from
Yes,
today.
everybody sucks.
Let's have a round of applause for no one.